welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me today. Well, I got a bunch of emails actually about going back to this OK Baby video where they do a Q&A. We like visiting the old stuff because actually knowing what we know now and seeing the behaviors we see now, it becomes very clear and evident on who Kyra really was through this whole relationship. And it's just crazy that she got away with it this whole time. It's bananas. I thought I covered this video, but I guess I didn't. There was another Q&A I must have covered. So, I mean, you guys asked for it, so let's do it. So, a couple story times. Mark was over yesterday helping me out with the old drywall. This isn't actually straight. Like, let's get this straight, okay? How's that? See, it looks straight in the video, but the camera doesn't look straight. Whatever. Other story time. This sweater, although that looks really nice, it was hanging in my closet and had a tag on it still. And then I put it on. It's like super stretchy, very soft, very nice, very not for men. I discovered that I bought this for my wife and didn't give it to her, or had it in a bag and she put it in my thing because she knows I buy sweaters. This is actually, and I'm obviously clearly bought too big of a sweater for her. So, but it's cozy. Like it's I don't know how to explain the softness of this thing, but it's like, oh my gosh, this is how women's clothes feel. So anyway, we're at the bus stop and getting made fun of. It is what it is, but it is my wife's sweater. So if you're wondering, yes, I am wearing my wife's sweater that I bought for her. See, I buy her clothes. I don't even remember. That's how good of a husband I am. So that's my story times. I'm going to paint that soon. Put some LED lights up. Put some more posters up. It's going to be a bigger studio. I'm very excited because I've been renovating the basement. It's almost done. And now I'm going to do this whole other side where the studio's on and stuff like that and make it all sweet so we can have more stuff and all that kind of jazz. It's going to be exciting. Anyway. So the OK Baby question Q&A videos are kind of funny to watch, especially back in the day when they were at their peak. And what Kyra completely threw away into the garbage because she didn't like it. Because Taint Zits is better, I guess. He's not. Anyway, let's get to this.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're doing one of my favorite styles of videos, which is a Q&A. I get to talk a lot and Oscar gets to look awkward.
Correction. I get to interrupt Oscar a lot, is what she's going to say.
And listen to you. I love listening to your beautiful voice, so.
Right.
No, he doesn't.
But
no, we're not going to do that. It's ABC Mouse. Kyra, maybe you should have played with the app and got better at things. Holy crap, that's a long ad.
It's 2 to 8, and they have subjects such.
see now on to our Q&A. Ooh, it's been a minute since we did.
Yeah, you don't like her. I don't like you, Kyra, you stink. Boom. That sounds like a jingle.
It's something this good, I tell you.
He thinks you're silly and dumb. Can you imagine being married to that? Preston, I mean, you deserve the hell that's coming your way, but are you sure? You know what I mean?
These are that good.
I love Q&As. They're so
I love talking about me and myself and I.
fun. First question, is Oscar still getting the snippers?
Oh.
He's like, what do you mean? Don't tell them what the thing.
Oh. Yes, I am.
Whose idea
And why are you doing it? To save my wife's life is what he's about to say.
was it to sell the Tahoe for the truck and RV?
Oh, dang. That's a good question.
I don't even remember.
It was Kyra's because she didn't like the Tahoe. Then she went and got a Suburban, which is basically a Tahoe.
I don't either.
I was so excited to hear your answer. I was like,
Another story time. Okay, so I went to Birmingham to get my crown put on, which is there, and I'm filming the whole thing and everything. Got my teeth whitening. I was doing the Instagram, and he's like, the other two things I had to get done. He's like, look, you might need friggin' root canals for those other two teeth. I'm like, what? Dang it! So I was like, can you just try to just not do root canals and see if you can do crowns? He's like, yeah, let's try it. So he does that. He says, looks like good. Got just the part off, and I'm going to put crowns on after. But I get home, and 4 days later, yesterday, I'm in the most pain of all time. Okay? I went outside. It's freezing outside in the mornings for the bus stop. Yes, I take my kids to the bus stop in the morning. Why wouldn't you? Love talking to my neighbors. The dogs run around. Gus's best friend is my new neighbor's dog, Capone, and he's the coolest dog, and him and Gus just run around for 20 minutes. It's great. We talk to the parents. Everybody's having a great time. It's good, but it was freezing. And I guess that hit right into them. Dang, man. Dang. So I went to the dentist to see if I had to get a root canal. I'm like, oh, I have to pay for a root canal here. All this kind of stuff. And he gets there. He's like, no. Just the temporary cap is lifting. And so like air and stuff's getting in there. And it's like, imagine exposed nerve in your tooth being exposed. So he put this glue around it and it made it awesome. So I don't need root canals, apparently. But it's still hurting. I gotta go back today. Every time I walk in the dentist office, here's my debit card. Just take whatever you want. Okay, leave me broke. So I have to go back today to get the other one because there's 2 caps. Get them resealed because, like, I guess they just, they only put temporary glue on. So it is what it is. I don't know why I've said that, but I'm in pain.
I know. Yeah, I think to sell the truck.
Well, it wasn't really an idea. We had decided we wanted to purchase an RV, and then through our research for which RV, we realized we didn't have a vehicle that could tow, and then we decided to sell the vehicle that we used the least.
No. Oh, there's a lot to that.
Tahoe can't pull an RV? Really?
That's a controversial one.
They also called me up a month before young Chevy did and asked me, hey, are you interested in selling your Tahoe? So when we got the RV idea, because they had already called for the Tahoe because it was in high demand, I guess the Tahoes were, we decided to sell that one as well.
Yeah. Why aren't y'all teaching the kiddos Spanish? Well, I'm incapable, but...
You're incapable of reading English and speaking English, so I get it. Yeah.
I feel...
You're not incapable. You just don't want to try.
Not uncomfortable, but kind of weird speaking a language that you don't know and like...
Do it. My wife speaks fluent French. I can understand a little bit of it and speak a little bit of it just because most Canadians can. But I would love my kids to know more language. Why wouldn't you want your kids to know more languages? That just makes them better people and smarter and more hireable for everything. Like, bilingual people impress me. Okay, like, I'm impressed by... If you're, like, fluently bilingual in something, I'm like, hey, you're awesome. Like, I'm legit flabbergasted how smart you probably are. So, there's that.
Would be the only one here who did. Honestly, I don't
Who cares? So learn with your children. You're learning at their level anyway. Your brain's the size of theirs.
think we're opposed. I just think we just haven't.
Yeah, I really just haven't. And I also...
You should now, Oscar. Now you should, so you can do a secret language. You know what I'm saying?
feel like, for me, Spanish is like a tool, kind of, so I only use it...
Most languages. Oscar. What?
when needed. So I don't know. That's how I've always thought about it, because I've never just spoke it, because with my family they'll speak to me in Spanish.
Because they don't want Kyra. It's because they don't want Kyra hearing. And then the translation is that your fiance she's dumb. Why are you with her? So the whole conversation at Thanksgiving at Oscar's house is them just roasting Kyra in Spanish. She has no idea. She's like, totally. I heard a word in there. It sounds familiar. Forehead? Is that what's translated?
And then I'll respond in English. So I've never spoken it unless I need to.
It wasn't really a big part of your childhood necessarily. I mean, it was your first language and all that, but very quickly you learned English once you moved to America, and then that's all you really spoke. But I don't think we're opposed to. It's just, honestly, we just haven't. And to say that we will is not probably true.
Yeah, but I know it's so beneficial for them. I probably should.
Yeah, that's what's hard, is that we know it would be really awesome for them to be able to do so. But
Kyra should just be the answer for all your problems. Why haven't you done this, Kyra? That's why we haven't done things normally. Why didn't you do normal things? Why are you smelly, Kyra? Why do you sniff farts, Kyra? It's all Kyra.
There's kids who speak like 5, 6, 7 languages. Cool. It's insane.
Who? No.
Okay, next question. Why did you buy an RV? We kind of never really did talk about this.
Yeah, why did we? Ooh, that's a good...
Because you had these people came into money because of this channel, and they just didn't know what to do with it. I'm going to buy an RV!
Yeah, I think we just started seeing, we started watching YouTube videos of people doing it, right?
Yeah.
So they were going to pivot over to living in an RV. Have you ever seen the RV lifestyle videos with the kids and stuff? They're all trying to flex, like, where do your kids sleep? Well, here, they sleep here in this closet with 1 square meter space, just sleeping, right? Isn't it cozy? No, it's not cozy. It's literally torture. Okay, prisoners get better sleeping facilities in your children in RV. Yeah, I'm gonna cover some RV people. Here's an idea. For the month of December for Snarkmas, I'm obviously gonna do 12 days of Dockity Dozen, because that's what we do. Dockity D's Nuts December, whatever we call it. But also for Vlogmas, or I call Snarkmas, every day, why don't we try to cover a brand new family vlogger? Not brand new. It can be brand new or old, but like one a day every single day. And then obviously intersperse it with extras of the Dockety Dozen because we do the Dockety D's Nuts because we can't not. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be cool? So even if it's like an obscure channel we never talked about, boom, I'll roast one of their videos. We'll just snark on it and just go through every single one that I've never done before. Just give me a video to snark on and I'll snark on it. I think that'd be fun.
We got really into Keep Your Daydream YouTube channel. We've talked about that on this channel before. And you guys see, we just literally live in our car. We travel all the time. And it's very expensive when you're staying in hotels, especially with a lot of kids. You're in this small hotel room with so many kids, and it's like $200.
Cool, so you're going to put them in a small RV with so many kids.
Plus
What's your logic? Your logic is flawed.
dollars
Like your entire being.
a night. Yeah. Before we thought about
So buy a $100,000 RV. That'll offset the cost. And it's a depreciating asset, by the way. It's not something that you can sell for more later. So smart, though. Keep trying.
it for a little while.
And they probably didn't even do that. They probably didn't even do the thing that she just said that they were going to do. This sweater it makes me feel feminine.
Your dad kept bringing it up. Her dad was the one who really wants it.
Yes. My dad
So you bought an IV because your dad wanted it? That's
has always told me, but he lives in LA, so it's not very realistic in the sense of like there's nowhere to put one.
Walmart.
Well, there is. It's just expensive. He can't put it at his place. He's always asked, like, hey, you guys want to go half on one? We just leave it at your place and all that.
Yeah. It's always been
That's stupid.
in our minds.
Yeah.
And then when we found that channel, we really fell in love with the life.
So everything that you just said, you got it for. You also reiterated that you can't use it for that. We got some when we travel, like LA and stuff, but we can't park it there. We can't go. It's too expensive and all these. But we're going to do this. It's expensive to stay in hotels, and it's too small for the kids. So we bought this tiny RV, but we can't park it anyway. So everything we just said, we're not going to use it for either. But we still bought one. Does that answer your questions?
Style ID.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. And
we want to explore more. We're just like, we're wanting to go out there. And
No, you are. She's not.
with all the kids, they just do so much better outside of the house. And it's I was going to say it's a very affordable thing, but
It's not.
so far not so much because
No, it's not. If you're gonna save the cost of a hotel, like say we have 4 kids, you can stay in one room, hotel room, get 2 king beds, whatever, right? 2 kids on one bed, 2 kids in the other, pair in each bed. It is what it is. You can make it work. Or buy a $100,000 RV and put in, $350 worth of gas to get there. Smart though. This is how people who make bad decisions with their money actually think in their brain. They're like, well, we're saving $150 on a hotel, right? Like, holy cow. But it costs you $700 to get there.
the RV itself. But I think once we
I think it'll always be maintenance and stuff. It'll always be kind of, I wouldn't say an expensive.
Also, you have to empty out the shit box.
Probably, but it's cheaper. If you want to travel, it's one of the cheapest ways to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Not true.
The next question is about Oscar. If Oscar wasn't doing YouTube, what would have been your job of choice at that time?
Before YouTube, a firefighter.
Yeah.
We talked about.
You can still do that. You can still be a firefighter. The guy's like 26 or 27.
About that, yeah. What irritates you the most about each other?
Well, Kyra's a douche.
Not you? I want to see.
He pulls at the list, rolls it out. Let's start at the top. You are a douche. Yeah. You keep your creamer out in the open and make it rotten. That's gross. Okay? You buy cats, even though I'm deathly allergic to cats. Thanks. Oh, here's one. You cheated on me with the nanny's husband. I highlighted that one with the green highlighter. Here's another one. Threesomes in Vegas. You probably have chlamydia. That's nice. Good to know. Whenever I fart, you get aroused. That's a really weird thing. I don't like that. Maybe cut back on that one. Here's another one. You can't cook at all. That's gross. Here's one. You didn't want to go do fun things with me, but as soon as Preston came to the picture, oh my goodness, you do all those things that I wanted to do. That's amazing. The list is forever, Kyra.
A lot of things that used to make me angry, you've gotten way better at.
By the way, this video came out right before they ended it all, by the way. Or she ended it all.
I don't know. I was going to say...
So she likely could have been cheating on Oscar during this video, by the way.
Low you move for yours. Oscar's like...
He couldn't come up with something. She's like, here's my list.
Thinks a lot when he does everything.
Yeah.
You what?
I would say mine for yours is, I don't think you like realize or not realize.
No, she doesn't realize.
Ooh, this is gonna be a fight in the making.
See, she's allowed to say whatever she wants about how much she hates him, and he has to walk on eggshells and be very careful what he says because she's like ready to literally physically assault him because we've got video proof of her doing that. She's leaning in, ready to assault Oscar. He lived in an abusive relationship, and we are seeing what it looks like, everybody. That is crazy.
No, but I don't think you appreciate how I just let you do pretty much whatever you want. I always feel like I have to ask for permission, and like there's a possibility of a no, and I feel like you never have.
But is there ever a no?
For me? Well,
Of course there is.
You're right. I guess it has gone better, which is why I said earlier, all the things that bug me, or that used to bug me, not you.
No, there's no's everywhere. Like, he's like, don't get a cat, please. Here's cats I brought home. And during that moment where she totally disregarded everything he wanted, that's when she was trying to sabotage the relationship, by the way. She was trying to get him maybe to be like, get in a big fight. That's why she went live on Instagram when they're having a big fight, because she wanted people to be like, look, see how bad it is. I got to get out of this. She was fully in sabotage mode at this moment in their relationship. She was cheating on him, in my opinion, according to my witness testimony. That's during their timeline, she was cheating on him, and she was looking for ways to sabotage, because people who cheat sabotage.
You've gotten way better at it. I don't know, I feel like we're in a good spot.
He's like, I can't say anything because he's going to beat me with a whip later.
I know,
it gets the belt if I speak out too loud.
Ask me when we're in a bad spot, and I can think of them.
I mean, there's like little things where it's like, oh, you always do this, or you don't pick up your clothes, which actually isn't one for me, because you actually do that. But like, little, like there's little things like that throughout the day that it irritates you that day. But I don't think
all this means is that we're in a good spot.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to laugh because I'm laughing, but did you hear what he just said there? Rewind that, Tyson, and play it back in slow motion, please.
All this means is that we're in a good spot.
Oh, I really like this question. How do you split finances?
What can I do?
We split finances both through YouTube.
This is such a good question because for the longest time we kind of struggled with figuring out the best situation. He's a saver, I'm a spender, and even more so a while ago he used to be like very strict about what dollar.
He must be so pissed at how much she wasted over this whole time, because when they split, they had to do 50-50. But he didn't. He saved and she spent. That's why I'm saying that's why I'm saying Oscar get a lawyer, because when she spends her money and it's gone, she's going to want to do a couple of things. She's probably going to want to relaunch OK Baby to get those re-upload videos or use that channel to make money, and they should be deleting that because it has all their kids all over it. Or she's going to come for his money for childcare. Or what do you call that? Anyway, where she has to pay her. She's going to come for that eventually because she's going to run out of money.
Which isn't a bad thing. We have kind of just split things with like this category of money goes to you, like our income streams. What do you call those streams of income? Certain ones go to him and certain ones go to me. It kind of works like that. He does get more of the money, but also he pays most, if not all, of the bills. But we do the reason I want to answer this is I wanted to say we do split finances.
Why? Why?
Before we did, I always wondered why couples did that, or it seemed weird to me.
Why did you share them or split them?
You guys have the same stream of income, though. It's not like you both have separate jobs that you bring in. You do the same thing. So what do you... That's a weird thing.
Split them. Because
I could understand if you have your own careers and you want to keep your money separate. Like, I'm not going to do what you got to do. Like, I would never do that because my money is my wife's money and my wife's money is my wife's money. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Our money is our money. Like, I would never keep things aside, separate. I never understood why people do that. I don't know, especially if you're like long-term together. It is what it is. I'm not going to like judge you for doing it. Some people have different reasons. But like you guys have the same stream of income coming in and then you just split it up this way. That doesn't make any sense.
in my opinion, and even still now, like we do share, even though we have split money, we both spend each other's money. Yes. Like we're never like, this is my money, this is your money.
So you don't have separate. So shut up then.
No, that we're
She's so dumb.
For this channel because of like business stuff, which we won't get into that because that's like a whole other video. But like for tax purposes and all that, I do use his card. We share each other's money, but we do have our own money to spend freely, and that has just been so beneficial for.
So if that's the case, and Oscar bought his side-by-side and his truck that he wanted and all this stuff, you forced him to sell that stuff and give you 50% of it. So Oscar, again, was a pushover through the whole marriage, or I call it marriage, the relationship, and there was a pushover when you broke up. Oscar has probably deserved way more than he thinks he is, and that's why he should have lowered up from the beginning. Because if he had to sell the things that he purchased with his money for himself, then you shouldn't have got any of that, Kyra, and you forced him to sell it and split it with you.
Us, because I'm not somebody who likes to feel that I have to ask.
Yeah.
And I also do make my own money. And so I want to be able to feel like I can spend it how I wish. So I feel like that.
But then when he goes to spend his money how he wishes, you take half of it still. Ew. You're gross, Kyra. And it makes you wonder, too. Someone who had it so good, right? Inside of a relationship with a guy who completely adored you. You had a great relationship as far as you're concerned. You also, like, ran the ship. Like, you steered the ship. You wore the pants. You said where money was going. You took an unfair share to yourself. And you threw that away, too? You idiot.
I mean, we did that years ago.
Well, honestly, all that ever happened was when we got a business together.
Oh, yeah, look what Kathy bought me. Forgot to show you guys. Booyah! Isn't that cool? They're super cool. I was all against Crocs until I hit like 44. I'm almost 44 this year. Now it's Crocs galore. I got like 3 pairs. Let's do this.
We put in my name because I was the majority worker on it. And then
See what he just said there? This is proof again that Oscar was the majority worker on it. He did most of the stuff. He should have gotten the line share of it. And they had to split 50-50 at the end. If he would have just taken this to court and done it properly, he would have got the lion's share of it because he was owed the lion's share of it. Like, she just got way more than she deserved.
Started doing stuff with Kyra on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's when we just kind of kept our same accounts. Certain money though that you were working on just started going to you, and certain money that I was working on started going to me.
Yeah.
And it just stayed that way forever. So
yeah, but I hope that it stayed that way forever, even during the breakup, and she didn't ask for 50% of your income that you had saved away, because he's a saver, she's a spender. So his account was probably heavier than hers, and she's probably like, I want 50% of that. Man, someday Oscar's gonna come out with all this. It's gonna happen. We're gonna hear about it, and it's gonna be long after she's done on YouTube anyway.
You've never changed.
It's been super beneficial for us, and I highly recommend. I'm not saying you need to have
It's just been easy. We never had to make a joint account. We just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you complain when he goes and does things with his money. You dumb person.
I know
You're gross, Kyra.
People, even in my life, who are like, well, what happens if you guys split and he has all the money? I have 4 of his kids. You think I'm not going to take his ass to court to get...
Boo! What? Holy cow!
Why would I take...
So there you go. She's just telling you what she's saying. She's like, I have 4 of his kids. You think I'm not going to take half his money? That's what she just said. Did you hear what she just said? How greedy she said, and nobody called her out? He has a lot of the money. Do you think I'm not just going to take half that when I leave? Is what she just told everybody. Not a couple months after this, she broke up the relationship. Not months after this. Holy cow!
Everything for her when they gotta go with her half the time. They
were talking about breakup already.
Even in a fight, because already I think of everything as half yours. So even in a fight, I'd be like, you know what? Just to get this over with, you take your half.
You idiot, Oscar! What?
I take my half. Let's make it easy.
Look at her brain going, yeah, that's right. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. I cannot believe that Oscar is this way. Like, you are an idiot. And the reason you're an idiot, Oscar, is because you have kids to take care of. That's your responsibility. I know that she's your baby mom. I know that she's your kid's mom. That doesn't matter. You still have a responsibility to make your life better for you so that you can be a better dad for your kids. Giving it 50% over to someone who cheated on you, who treated you like trash and abused you, that's just enabling her to do that continued through her life. You were wrong for that, Oscar. You're wrong for that, and you're teaching your children. At the same time, I kind of understand you're teaching your children, okay, well, I don't want to be a dickhead. I get that too, but dang, man.
Yeah.
Get it done with
But
that.
I also think there's laws in place for that.
Yes.
There's a reason you go to court.
Yeah.
But even so, we're just not the type of people, call us immature or whatever, but we're not thinking about when we get divorced. We're
Yeah, you are. You literally just had a conversation about it.
thinking what helps our relationship right now.
Wow, I can't believe I just heard that. I guess I didn't cover this video. Oh my gosh.
What advice would you give your younger self if you knew then what you know now?
Run away. Run away, even though you can see her forehead off in the distance. Run away, man.
That's a really complex question.
It's not.
honestly feel like I would not give myself.
Look at Kyra's just like, I want to say what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it.
So any advice, because I wouldn't want to alter any.
What's then? How far back are we talking?
I think as a teenager, no.
Yeah.
I would say
Maybe don't steal your boyfriends from your best friend. Just a thing. She hasn't learned her lesson.
If I could tell my childhood self anything, it would be that you can literally do whatever you want. Like,
You can't do it. No. Why would you tell your childhood? I mean, here's what you should have told your childhood self, Kyra. Read. Learn how to spell things. Read more. Stay in school. Don't be an idiot.
You can totally flip your life.
I wouldn't tell myself anything.
Why is it always rich people who stumbled into money the easy way, who actually have no discernible talents, are always the ones like, you could do whatever you want. You got lucky. You got lucky and you exploited children to get where you are. So I don't want to hear about how you like are self-made. You got lucky and you did it all wrong. You did it disgustingly. You both did it disgustingly. You both elevated your platforms by exploiting children. So I don't want to hear about like, here's how you do it.
I really like where I'm at right now.
Like apparently that Ingham guy, that trash, disgusting Chris Ingham guy from the UK, writes a book on how to be like, how to do all this. That guy is disgusting, but he should be in prison. But like, he's trying to tell everybody how he made it. None of these people have any talent. They're not funny. They don't have any, again, no talents. I've never watched a family vlog where I'm like, holy God, these guys are funny actually. Thank God there's one. None of them have good personalities. All they had was exploiting children. That's all they had.
You think of your worries then, like for instance, my childhood, I was worried I'm going to be stuck in this small trashy town.
Dude, but everyone did tell me, I just didn't believe them. Nothing you do matters. Like, your high school doesn't matter. I mean,
don't promote
No, finish high school, please.
that. But
No.
like,
Yeah, don't promote not finishing, because look what happened to her. She's got nothing.
No, I'm not talking about your school.
She can't even say words
Doesn't
properly.
matter, but like your social status in high school
yes.
does not matter.
That's
Like,
not what we're talking about.
I feel like that's all you obsess about when you're. At least I thought about it a lot.
yeah,
when I
like
was
your
young.
friendships that you're worried about.
If you ever wonder what peaking in high school looks like, Kyra is the person. That's what peaking in high school looks like. They're stuck like Jess fam. Peaking at like a really young age. They are developmentally arrested at a young age because they have babies young, and they get stuck because they're forced to mature. That's the point where they stopped. And they think they're that still. Like Jess fam the other day is like, I'm in my mom era. Like you've been a mom for like, what, 12 years? And now you're in your mom era? She thought she was a teenager and still dresses like one to this day, even though, stop, right? Kyra's the same way. There's a lot of these family vloggers, especially ones who had kids young, and teen moms in general, and this isn't like a roast of teen moms, but I think this is, I might be wrong, could be right, but I think a lot of teen parents in general are developmentally arrested at the point where they had babies young. And they still think that they're there, or because they missed out on all that stuff growing up because they had to force to be parents, that they want to live that again. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, like literally just.
But I'm probably not.
Being mean to you, that one I think is an easy one to take over and consume your brain and make you feel all the worst things ever. But high school does end. And 4 years
You didn't graduate high school. Of course it ended. You left early.
is a very tiny portion of your life. What was the hardest time in
Why would anybody take these people's advice?
your relationship?
Now would be the hardest time because she's about to roast this family into oblivion because of taint.
Mine was definitely when we first moved into this house. It was during like when we first moved here, and I feel like that was just
He had to cut whatever he said and re-say it. That's what you just saw there.
you were going through a hypocritical phase. Not to offend you or anything, but
What? Expand, please. Look at her. She's about to hit him. See how he's always standoffish? When she leans in, he always does this. Look at their body language. I'm not a body language expert, but as I'm seeing this, Oscar's literally he is scared of what she does. He's scared of the abuse she dishes out to him. And it's all evident in his body language.
I wasn't
At least it was a phase and not a lifelong issue.
What was the, explain, please go on. What do you mean the hypocritical phase? Go through it more, please. Tell me about it more.
Mine, that was definitely one.
Why didn't he expand on that? Again, he did, but she told him to change it. That's why you saw the video cut there. So he said something. What was the hypocritical phase?
We lived in the Farmington house, but I think it was a little bit different because instead of it being a relationship issue between us, you were going through something of your own, and it really affected me because you're somebody who kind of when you go through something, you kind of pull away and just kind of like hide, I guess.
You mean shield other people from it? Because not everybody's a trauma dumper there, Kyra. right? I mean, having a partner that's what they're for. If I'm going through something, I tend to pull away a little bit too, because I don't want to like put that on people. But at the same time, my wife's like, I'd rather you did. I'd rather you know, I'm your sounding board sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I complain too much. And if I, like, if there's everything ever to complain about in my life, my wife is who I'm calling, right? I got to vent. I vent to her. My wife will vent to me, but I always want to have the problem solved. My wife will just listen. Right. But at the same time, there's something to be said for dads not wanting to like burden other people. And that's just like a stereotypical guy thing, unfortunately. But yeah.
Hide's not the word.
I wasn't hiding. I was
focusing. Okay. We're focusing in your own cave. And
I was focusing on Twitch.
Okay. And you really.
See, can't even. She's like making it up. And he's like, no, you're saying it wrong. He's like, too bad. I'm saying it. Doesn't matter what you say, even if it's your reality and your truth. I'm going to tell you what your truth is. Kyra is an abusive asshole.
We really blocked everybody else.
I was playing games all the time because I was trying to get better.
You're trying to answer this question. We have to restart because we always start arguing.
Well, you had to make him change his answer.
I literally was focused on Twitch.
Yeah, that's fine. We've gone through some ups and downs in our relationship.
See, she gets to say whatever, right? And she is saying it wrong according to Oscar. And he gets really frustrated because she's lying. And he's like, you're saying it wrong. You're not saying it correctly. You're throwing me under the bus. And she won't stop. And then she has to be like, stop, physically put her hands on him and say, shut up. I don't care what you say. That's what we're seeing right now. So he said, you're in your hypocritical phase, went on to say something, cuts the video, then doesn't finish it. But then she can say whatever she wants. And he's like, no, that's not correct. Let me clarify that. And she's like, shut up. I don't care. If that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what will piss you off.
Shit, but the good thing is it always goes.
And then she's like, this is a typical gaslighter thing going on right now, where she's like trying to deflect. Now it's over. I've said my piece. Shut up. Now, like, but the good thing is, and she's trying to like, I said it and I want that to be solidified. So I'm going to change the topic now, or change the way the direction this conversation is going, so that you can't rebut what I just said. That's gaslight. That's abusive right there.
Back up.
Oh, that's a good one. Do you guys plan on-
And he just lets it go. If Oscar actually got to say what he really wanted to say during this relationship, we would have seen this about Kyra a long, long time ago. Now we know what we know now, and then we can see that stuff, but it was well hidden through edits and her being who she was, because everybody thought it was just, oh, it's cute. They're just in a relationship, just bantering. We now see it all, clear as day. Oscar has such a great case to take full custody of his children and like give her weekends and stuff like that, right? He has a better case for not giving her 50% of his money, and he didn't do it. And because she forced this guy so hard throughout his whole life to take the abuse, he's just not willing to fight anymore, or never was.
Finishing the basement anytime soon?
Better, because that's where you'll be living, buddy, soon, in like a month and a half.
That is a great question, because that is why we got an RV. We were gonna finish the basement, and then the lumber prices were through the roof. Contractors around here were like, it's $50K minimum to finish the basement. So we were like, oh, okay, well, since we're not building the basement now, it's gonna cost way too much to do like a job that in 2 years from now will cost us like way cheaper. That's when we got excited about the RV. We started talking about it more. Like,
let me get this straight. So you could have put $50K into your house, which would increase the value of your home by like $75K. Or you buy a $75,000 RV, which is a depreciating asset. Again, people who make crappy money decisions, they tell you every time.
Oh,
put the money into your home. If it's a choice between putting $75,000 into your house, or if it's a choice between putting $50,000 into your house, that will increase the value of your home by $25,000 when you sell it. That's the better option than buying a depreciating asset that's going to sit in your driveway, get leaks, and be worth nothing later. That is a no-brainer, man. Invest in your home.
Because we had that amount of money set aside, but we again, tax purposes, we don't want to have that at the end of the year. So it's like, what do we want to spend our money in?
So they bought the RV, wrote it off as a business expense.
Smart way on for the next, couple months.
Yeah, we wanted to finish the basement, but decided to wait until lumber prices went down and contracting got
silly.
Cheaper. Plus, her uncle thinks
lumber. Your basement, as far as I can see, was basically framed. You don't have to go that much lumber, is what I'm saying. It's from what I've seen in their basement. It's not like you have to reframe the entire basement.
He might be able to help us out, finish it ourselves. So we might be waiting for that. So I would say sometime within the next year or two, We want to like actually focus on the basement.
That didn't happen. They broke up.
Lisa's question. This is a good question. She also commented a different question saying, I hope that didn't come off as rude for what I'm about to read. And don't worry, don't take it as rude. I totally understand the question. Or you asking the question. Do you ever feel guilty that your job is your family and filming your family for money?
No, they don't.
Unfortunately, that can happen negatively a lot on the internet, and
There's no positive side to filming kids and putting their life on the internet. There's no positive side to it. The only positive side is you making money. But the positive side, there's no positive side for the children, by the way. None. Zero. Because in the end, how their family ends up anyway.
Understand where that comes from, and that's a whole topic for a whole series probably.
So do a whole series.
But I do quickly want to say that...
And I was right, because they stopped showing their kids. Not really. She keeps doing it.
It's not the way that it is for us. It's not the way that we envision it.
Doesn't matter how you envision it. Of course, the abusers don't envision it as abusive. She's an abusive person. Does she actually think she's an abusive person? Probably not. She'd probably tell you straight to your face, no, that's just me being me. But she is an abusive person. So, of course, child exploiters are going to be like, yes, I'm child exploiting. I mean, some people would just be like, oh, yeah, I am. Totally. I don't care. But that's, of course, an abuser is not going to admit to the abuse.
Film, it's literally memories. And then
oh, here we go. Page 655 of the Family Vlogging Manual. We're making memories. Tell people that. Tell people we're making memories. Because, yes, you have to monetize your memories and share them with millions of people online. Can't just make memories and put them on a private account or on a hard drive. I don't want to hear this. I'm so sick of hearing this excuse. It's so stupid. Making memories. Because you can do it without exploiting your children. You dummy. I hate that excuse.
Now Levi's at the age where he can watch the videos and
could watch them too if they weren't public to the world.
He loves them. They really do enjoy it. There has been times where our kids haven't enjoyed it, and we've been open about that with you guys.
No, you haven't.
That's typically when we don't upload as much.
That's not being open to people. When you don't see us upload, that's us being open to you that our kids hate it. Is it? That seems weird.
Or there's certain times where we don't include some of the kids in the videos, and that's usually the times that they don't even verbally say they don't.
Watch, next they're going to be like, look, if they told us they didn't want to be on video later, we're not going to force them to be on video. How many times have you ever heard a family vlogger say this? How many times? And how many times are they just lying? Because they do force their kids. Even if it's coercive behavior, if it's bribing them, even if it's like making them feel guilty for not doing it, because if you don't do it, we might not be able to, do this and that. Like, they bribe their children. They do. They coerce their children. And children want nothing but to please their parents. So they're lying when they say stupid stuff like this. And I hate when they lie.
Want to be, but we can kind of just tell.
Like walk away while you're filming. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've always been good at
feel the vibe, eh?
Kind of knowing when to film and when not to, and not even when it comes to our kids.
No, there's been a few times where I'm like, ooh, like why? Like looking at it months later, I'm like,
yeah, like years later.
Yeah, why'd you film you cutting your kid's face up with a drone and put that on camera? Like, I know that Oscar completely regrets everything that he has put online about his children. I know he does, and I'm like, I don't know why they don't delete OK Baby. Delete it, because I'm just gonna keep going through your videos. But like, yeah, he would say, yes, I admit that I was wrong. She will never admit that she's wrong though. She'll just be like, no, we made money, I don't care. She's unapologetically an a-hole, where he's like, okay, fine. He grew up, she didn't. That's just how this works.
Some videos, but there's Levi as a baby where I'm like, oh.
Oh, no, yeah, just like even more.
So why are those videos still up then?
Recently, I was like, last year, I was like, why did I film that? But in the moment, you just like, I guess this is a whole
It's a whole thing. But
is it a whole thing? It's not a whole thing. You exploit your children, you always have. And you can't, there's no explaining your way out of this. Like, if they didn't want to be on video that day, they don't have to be. That's so stupid. That's such a dumb excuse.
Also, I'm not just talking about our kids too, and I don't know that you are either, because you say family. When it comes to like, your family or my family, we never record somebody who doesn't want to be filmed. And again,
okay, but you force your children to be on these. Okay, that's great for you to be like, oh, my family doesn't want to be on, that's cool. But you give them privacy, but not your children? Like, you don't, and your children are the one who deserve it the most. They're the ones that you have to protect their future and their digital footprint, but you don't give a crap about that. And remember, Kyra wasn't like showing Preston for his privacy sake. Like, she gives Strange Taint more privacy, and people were calling out for that than her own children. Like, they respect everybody but their children, which is crazy to me.
It's not even a verbal thing. We all.
There was times in the past where we did, and not even in a malicious way. We were just like,
so into
yeah, and
this,
like we're just trying to show our story and like look at that.
And
Yeah, at your kid's expense.
It's for me, I guess I should say, one of the biggest things I love about YouTube, which you do love this too, but this is like one of my main reasons I love YouTube is connecting with you guys. And
No, it's not. You don't give a crap about people. It's making money.
like reading your comments, and like building friendships and seeing your guys' reactions.
It's not your guys's. Just seeing your reactions is all you have to say.
To how we edited or how we filmed or whatever. That's what I think of when I'm filming, is like those things.
No, you're not.
So
I feel
Liar.
like we've never had a negative intention, which by negative we mean like we've never thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna make us so much money, like
Yes, you have.
yes, or
Yes, you have.
oh my gosh, this is gonna bring us like
YouTube just
Yes, you have.
didn't make us.
That's a lie. Oscar straight up lied to you.
For the first
yeah,
year
exactly.
that we did it, I think that there's just like that big misconception. I totally
It's not a misconception. You exploit your children. It's not a misconception. We're not confused about it.
get it. Unfortunately,
You're confused about it.
like I said, there is situations like that on YouTube that have set that, not stereotype, but kind of like connection
That idea
with
or-
No, you said it wrong.
family channels. But believe it or not, there is just families, and I know a few, like Jessica, her kids love
No, but Scooby? You talking about Jets fam?
to film like so much. I've seen it firsthand. And so believe it or not, there's families who like genuinely
It doesn't matter if your kid's like, why do they think that this is okay? They genuinely love it. They don't, no, they don't. You know why they genuinely love it? It's because you're probably giving them attention while you're filming, and that's what they genuinely love. They genuinely love that you're affirming them and you're being cool on camera, and that's a point where they come into you and they see you as a nice person because you're faking it for the camera. You guys don't see that? That's quite crazy to me. We're like, the kids love it. No. The kids love the experience because they're having good experiences while the camera's on. It's a psychological part of it. Your kids don't, the kids love you. They don't love filming. They don't know what it even means. And that's why their consent can never be given. They don't understand. They don't understand that millions of people are watching. They don't understand them. You don't even understand that because you're stupid. Okay? So that's not, you can't be like, my kid loved it. You don't know. You can't say that. It doesn't matter. Your kid loves eating candy. You're going to let them eat candy every day for dinner? Kid loves staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning. You let them do that every day? No. You make the choices for your kids that are protecting their future, and you never do. And just be like, well, they love it. That's, you're blaming your child for your exploitation. That's victim blaming.
love filming, and even if it wasn't for YouTube, that they would be doing it. And I
Would they? Like me?
think that
And if our kids ever came out and said like, "Yo,
Here we go.
we don't like this, yeah, we wouldn't.
Liar.
take my old videos down," we definitely would.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
I
we
mean,
want the best
they've taken their kids off since then, so they've obviously changed their mind about something.
for our children. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how people think that we're just like out to use or exploit or whatever.
Because you are, Oscar. That's what you did. You made your wealth exploiting your children. You don't like the word? Fine. No, you don't like the word? Too bad. You are exploiting your children. There's no other way to put it. You exploit them without their informed consent, make money off of them. You put them in advertisements. People, strangers are commenting about them. They know everything about your children. They've been to the hospital with them, the dentist. They've seen every broken bone. They've seen every holiday. They've seen every vacation. Everybody knows too much about your kids. They know their favorite food, where they go to school, their favorite sports. They know everything about your children. Absolute effing strangers on the internet, which include probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of predators. What don't you understand about this? You are exploiting your children. Because would you guys be famous if you didn't use your kids? Answer that. Because look what happened with Kyra. She took her kids off. Everybody just hate watches her. She's hated. Not because she took her kids off, but because the truth about her came out. But like, if she wants to have more kids, you better believe she's going to be exploiting that.
We've never had our kids scripted. We've never had them
Oh, that makes it better.
like, especially like brand deals too. That's things that we're pretty strict about, like, because brand deals are,
No, you're not.
you are given not a script, but certain things that you need to say. We never have our kids say those things.
Oh my gosh, you're so amazing for not scripting your kids. Like, would you like a cookie, a trophy? What do you want for that? Are you serious right now? This is how dumb people, and this is how people who are narcissistic and gaslighters, they tell themselves these things to make them feel better. They're justified. This is how they justify it. Like, I've never forced my kids to say a scripted thing. Okay, so they're still in the ad. You idiot.
We always say those things. Sometimes our kids are in the brand deals, but it's them doing whatever they genuinely
Oh my gosh.
would do. It's not anything that's like, oh, do this or do that, and then I'll do it. Like, it's not.
Wow, you're amazing.
It's never been like that.
Well, then. I'm turning my channel off then. She's right. Like, I mean, what am I going to do now? Shut up, Kyra. Dumbass.
And we've never had a negative intention with our children. We've never used them for views in any way. Like, we've never...
Yes, you have, Oscar. What are you saying right now? Are you kidding me? Father and son surprise mom pregnancy announcement. Teen mom emergency C-section. Baby girl's birthday. Bringing newborn home. We're having gender reveal. I successfully induced my own labor. Finding out about her unexpected pregnancy. Family reaction, teen's second pregnancy. Like... It's all about your top videos on your whole channel. Every single one of them. Picture of your kid in his underwear in the thumbnail, Oscar. Lost little girl shows up at our door. That's another kid they're exploiting. Pregnancy test results. Gender reveal. Baby girl moved newborn. Every single freaking one of their videos in their top 20, top 30 right now is about babies and kids. So don't lie. I hope you've changed your mind since then, Oscar, because that's a... Try not to swear, that's a BS lie!
Like, been like, oh yeah, so they do this will get like so many views.
You're such liars, because everything you put up, you know what's gonna make you money based on your top 20 like gender reveals, babies, C-sections, everything. You know it's gonna make you money, so why would you know? They know the formula. Everybody follows that same formula. So I don't wanna hear it. You damn liars.
Yes. But I will say, one mistake I did make is remember when they got injured like 2 days back to back?
We have disagreement on this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Oscar's about to say, here's one thing I do regret, and she's like, we disagree on the regret. That's what she just said. I don't care that he showed our kids hurting themselves back to back. He regrets it. She's like, no, I don't care. That's them in a nutshell.
Levi fell off his bike and Sissy like stepped on a piece of glass or something. So it wasn't even negative attention. For some reason I get so wrapped up in the idea that like we gotta show, at least I used to, now I feel like we gotta show these things because people are gonna wonder like what's wrong with their foot or what's wrong with his head, and then like
his face, why does he have, he's never had a black eye, but like why does he have a black eye, and then connect that with something else.
Yeah.
So imagine you have to, you show your kids so much that when something goes wrong, you're like, we have to show you why they injured themselves because you guys might think we're bad parents, so we gotta exploit that. That's what they're saying they exploit the medical stuff for. It's because maybe the fans will wonder what happened. Are you serious?
You don't show what actually happened?
So I used to have that mentality all the time, and I would always...
You should have that mentality. Don't show your kids. Like, especially if they're hurting themselves. Like, there's no consent that could ever be given there. They're in distress.
Like, if we don't address...
Again, that's one thing that pisses me off the most about family vloggers and has always made me so angry, is that the first thing they do when there's distress or something happening in their families, they pick up a camera to film it. I couldn't even imagine if my kid was hurt, something going on, that I picked up a camera. I don't even know. Like, if that's your first thing that you do when your kid hurts themselves or something happens, if your first inclination is to pick up a camera, you are a bad person. You're a terrible parent. Terrible.
If we were going to ask about it, so might as well just address it. And the best way to address it is show it while it's happening. We always nurture.
That's stupid.
And then we're always like, hey, you're good, you're good.
We always made sure they were okay beforehand.
But
how can you make sure they're good beforehand when you're filming it during? Interesting. Liar. Especially when the kid had to hit his kid in the face with a drone. They showed you the part of the kid getting hit with the drone because the drone had a camera on it. So how are you supposed to beforehand check if they're okay if you're putting it on during? Kyra, you're such a, like, I can't even, do you ever hear yourself ever in these videos and be like, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot?
I don't like how we did bring out the camera. I feel like that was...
I think for Oscar does...
Shut up, Oscar. Let me finish it for you.
Talk about this off camera to me, that this is something...
I just got lost in it. Like, you kind of forget, like...
I don't know. I think I just...
Let him say it! He's like, I got lost in it. I shouldn't have done it. It was exploitative. And she's like, just don't say it. She's saying, no, I don't care. They're completely in disagreement here. And he's the one with the regret about something that is truly a regretful thing, and he should be allowed to speak on it. And she's like, F off. No, I don't care. That's who Kyra is. She doesn't care.
Or like, I realized, I understand my intention at the time. It wasn't bad at all. It was just like, hey, like I said, we just gotta address it. Best way to address it is just like, while it's happening. So that was it. That's all my thought process was. But I was still focused on helping out Levi. You know what I mean?
No, you weren't. You were focused on getting the camera.
You had the camera, or I was still focused on helping out Sissy first, and like I just threw the camera.
No, you weren't.
On the floor, or whatever.
Yeah. Hear what he just said. I was still focused on Sissy first. No, you weren't, because I threw the phone on the camera, or I threw the camera on the floor. No, because you grabbed the camera first. Your first thing that you did when your kid hurt themselves was to grab a camera with a tripod, press record on the camera, then set it on the floor. It wasn't Sissy first. It was camera first. So I'm like, no.
I do think that, like, looking back on it and seeing people's, like, hey, that was not okay and stuff, I understand.
And Kyra's like, I don't care what they say. That's not okay. 5 minutes ago, she's like, I love people's comments and reacting with people and interacting with fans. But she rolled her eyes when he said that. I don't care what they say. Kyra's like, who gives a crap what people say? Your whole world is built on your fans, Kyra. Keeping them happy keeps you paid.
They're coming from, like, hey, maybe you're right. Sorry, Cameron.
She's always had this idea in her head, though, that she's like, who cares? Haters hate.
But I did realize where you guys were coming from, and I was kind of like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like, I could see how that came off wrong, and it wasn't my intention, so...
Yeah, it was.
Multiple things. I do see where people come from, because, again, unfortunately, that does happen, and...
What happens? Exploiting children? Unfortunately, it does happen to be abusive, so it just happens, so okay.
So, how do you know when you're just watching a certain minutes in a day of somebody's video, how do you know what their real intentions were and if they would use their kid for abuse like that? Like, I get that.
We don't need to know what your real intentions are. We can see your intentions in your content. It doesn't matter what your real intentions are. It really doesn't. That goes out the window when the content is out there. I wish, it bothers me because they think we're dumb.
I totally understand where they're coming from. But being on the other side of it, being my kid's mom, being here physically when these things happen, I just know that's not what's happening. So it
doesn't matter.
If I'm being honest, very frustrating to me that people even go there, because I'm like, it's just so, it's actually not even frustrating. I don't even care. I don't even.
Yeah, clearly you don't care.
And really pay attention.
I don't even care, but here's the whole segment.
Attention to it, because I think that it's so far-fetched and such a reach that it is just silly to me. Like, we would never, I know our intentions. I
don't care what your intentions are, what you think your intentions are, because abusers have to justify to themselves their abuse. So your intentions might be in your head. Kyra honestly thinks she's a good person. She would honestly tell you, I think I'm a good person. She thinks she's probably awesome. We know that's not true. Right? Most people are like, I'm hard on myself for a lot of things, okay? Most people who are not narcissistic D-bags are truthful themselves. They want to better themselves. Kyra honestly thinks she's great. So, like, that's not her. I don't care what your intentions are. Abusive people don't get to say what you're ignoring. Oh, that's not what I meant. I don't care what you think you meant. Okay, who cares? What we see with our eyes and what you actually did is what matters.
I've never really cared to, like, super address this. I feel like this is the most we've ever addressed it. I know my intentions with the kids. I know what happened. I was there.
No one cares. We know what happened too. We were there because you filmed it.
And I think that it's great that Oscar, you're better than me in this way, that you...
Better than you in most ways, actually.
Take what people say and you try to learn from it and you try to see their point of view, where I'm just automatically like, that was the dumbest thing I've seen all day.
You can't make it up what she just said there. So Oscar tries to learn from people leaving great comments about why would you do this, why are you doing that, where I'm like, that's stupid, I don't care what you think. That's them in a nutshell. That's why this was never going to work anyway. That's who Kyra is. People are trying to give you education. I'm not saying you have to take my word, my advice, I don't care. Right? But if you have actual fans who believe that Oscar clearly did believe, but you're like, F them, I don't give a crap about them, that's Kyra. That's who she is. And that's why she is where she is. Because she's a loser who doesn't care about anybody but herself and her happiness and finding herself. Kyra is a narcissistic, totally gross, selfish person in every single way. She is irredeemable.
And don't get me wrong, there is things I wish we wouldn't have shown, but I'm thinking more like when Levi wore a bib in the crib 5 years ago, and you're thinking more like
there was like that one, like when Levi, this was a different time in YouTube. Like,
I wanted to say that really quickly. That was the other thing I wanted to say.
Shut up, Oscar, I'm talking.
People need to understand that we started YouTube 6 years ago. It was a very different
who cares?
time. Yeah. You shared everything. Like, you literally shared every detail.
Not for like views or not for like clout.
Yes, you did.
connection.
Yeah, not
No, you didn't. You what? You want to connect with strangers on the internet? What do you mean connection? What do you need connection with strangers for? What connection for? With you're connecting strangers with your children on videos? Do you know how creepy that sounds? Why are you looking for that for your kids? Connection. Shut up.
like money or
It was like being a part of the
Gosh.
community, and it was like your viewers were your family. And
Oh my gosh. You think that's healthy, Kyra? Your viewers are your family. Oh my gosh, but then those same viewers who are your family say, hey, look, I don't like that you did this. And she's like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Great. So in one sentence, she loves her fans. The next time she's like, oh, I hate when they say things. Next sentence, but they're our family. That's who she is. That's why she is where she is. That's why she's hated.
And that was the dynamic of YouTube, which that still is for us, which is why sometimes we get caught up in sharing too much, unfortunately.
They just went back and forth 10 times to land in the exact same spot. It was like that back then. And we're still doing that now, though. So, okay. Like, can you guys hear words when you edit these? You hear what you're saying?
As YouTube now, and not in a bad way,
Wow.
but YouTube now is much more of a career, and it's career driven, and people do it to start businesses, and that's not where or why we, and luckily now it is our business, and that's amazing, but
Yes.
it's hard for us to sometimes remember this is our business, not just a hobby like it was.
Well, at least you're admitting that your children are your business. That's good.
And we have to be careful.
People make things sometimes what they're not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I did.
Did we? I would just like to point out, though, Kyra and Oscar, I was right. So, and you took your kids off the internet, or you forced her to. I don't know how you did it, but I was right. So if you guys are so right about it all, why are your kids not being shown anymore? Interesting. I was right.
There are a few things.
I am so excited I get to say this. I told you so.
Where I do wish we didn't post, and I just
Me
didn't know,
too.
but like
He keeps trying to say there's things I wish we didn't, but she keeps interrupting him.
I said, yeah, YouTube was in a different time. Like when we were showing Levi body training, I think we showed a little too much. Yeah, I just at that time I was like, this is what we're doing. Like, this is it. But I can see how that right there.
There's still videos that someone pointed out to me the other day on Kyra's channel with their youngest son taking a bath and he's fully nude, and she still has it up.
Now that would not be good.
Yeah, well, we just didn't know better. So I
So take it down then if you didn't know better, but you know better now.
feel like realizing now it's like, hey, going forward we don't do that. Like that is wrong.
Some things are
But you kept it up.
definitely I wish we wouldn't have shown so much of. But really quickly too, before we end this conversation, this is a good conversation,
No, it wasn't. You guys were completely, absolutely dumb.
is I do feel like right now,
Does she think that she achieved something with this conversation? This has been a great conversation, right? Right? All around? We got this solved. We figured it out. Kyra, are you serious right now? This was the worst I've ever heard. You moron. She honestly believes, like, there we go. All solved. We figured it all out, everybody. No child exploitation here. All right, let's move on to the taint.
we have a really good balance. We do have our kids on our channel because we have 4 kids and they're a big part of our lives. They're little kids, so we're constantly parenting them and around them and all that
Is that what you call that?
stuff. But I also feel like we have our fair share of adult stuff, like right now, what we're making. And I think that we've really done good at balancing that out because
No, you haven't.
I don't want our kids out of our channel. We debated that for a minute, more like a second. I don't know. I want to
Why'd you debate it if there's no problems?
be able to look.
Because Oscar was feeling guilty about this early in the game. Even though right now he's spouting garbage rhetoric, probably because you like have a knife to his liver. But like, this is what happened. The conversation came up. Oscar wanted to be done with it and said, let's talk about it at least. And she's like, no. Well, 1 second we'll debate this and then it's off cover. Because she ran the show, everybody. And obviously through this conversation, you could tell that he had regrets. And she was like, no, who cares? That's who they were. She made the decisions.
Back and see, there's nothing like going back and watching when we used to daily vlog with
Yeah, private it though. You can watch it on private.
Levi and Leia.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyways, that was a
Yeah,
big answer.
it was a dumb answer. It was a fail.
Overheard you in the vlog talking about breast implants. Is it still a consideration? I'm definitely not opposed to doing it.
I don't think I'll get one before 40. Like, not a year later, she got breast implants from this video. Not 1 year later.
Because I know that I'm going to have to, you're supposed to, for health reasons, get them redone every 20 years, if not like 10. I think it's 20, but I might be wrong.
Probably already had the consultation done during this video. She's lying to everybody.
It's your body, your decision, and either way, I'll still love you. Ooh.
See? But Preston wouldn't love you without getting fake boobs in the hair and everything else. When it's really telling. Preston wouldn't love you unless you let him sleep with other women. Ew! Preston is such a nasty, oily creep. Ugh.
When do you plan on leaving YouTube?
3 months later.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually planned that.
Yeah, Kyra's not going to leave. This is all she ever has. And so she's going to be forced to almost make nothing before she leaves. Like, Kyra will hang on to the last dollar. She knows she's one of the most hated creators on this platform for what she did. And she's like, I'm never leaving. Well, you're going to be forced to leave eventually because you won't make any money. And you're going to be like, where's your money going to come from? And you know what the problem is? It's going to come from Oscar because she's going to take him for all he's worth. And y'all know it.
There was a point where we thought about ending the whole OK Baby series, but I got more obsessed with the idea of a finale.
Yeah, you really wanted to make a finale video.
Yeah.
And then their finale was breaking up while Kyra laughs at him. That's great finale.
And actually,
I have that video, by the way. They deleted it. I have it.
I realized, because right after I was talking to Kyra, I was like, okay, we make a finale video, and then we do just like a OK Family or something like that.
Yeah.
That would have been the same thing.
And that's when I was like, hey, I actually don't want to quit YouTube. I just want to make a finale for some reason.
Yes. That
Which I
was
think
during
would be-
that time where we were kind of going through, do we want our kids in the videos or not?
Yeah.
And Kyra was like, but we did want our kids in the video.
Wasn't hard on your body, would you have another baby, or was for the max? Love from England. How cool. So far away. I would love to have another baby, but like you mentioned, my body cannot handle it. I don't know what I would do if
And now she's like, I'm having 7 more. I don't care what the doctors say. She's repeated this multiple times. And now she's like, well, Preston's in the picture. I need more babies because I need more money. She's having babies for money. That's the most disgusting thing. That's almost human trafficking level. Baloney.
I got pregnant again, it would be a really bad situation, hence why he's getting a vasectomy. So
Even she's admitting it out loud, everybody. This is the craziest video. Thank God you guys showed this to me. She just admitted it. That's why he's having a vasectomy, because it's dangerous for me. She's the one who said it now.
that does make me sad because I always wanted 6. We always agreed on 4, but I was hoping I could get a 5th.
Did she just admit to possibly essaying her husband or her boyfriend to get a 5th baby? Because let me tell you this. If you trick your boyfriend or your significant other into getting you pregnant by certain ways and means, that's SA. That's SA. And you should be put in prison for that. Sorry. You can't, did you see what she just did there? Again, abusive, controlling, everything else. Get another one out. By any means necessary, she would. If she's telling you things, you should be listening. We should have all been listening.
Or not even a 6, but just a 5th. But to be honest, I know our family cannot handle it. And maybe...
Interesting. Your family can handle it, but now you're with the nanny's husband. You can handle it now? No, you can't.
Maybe when they're older,
We could, but
I
we
don't
already know. So it's gotten progressively, it's gotten more and more difficult the more children we have, obviously. And it's sad because I feel like it's gotten harder to share time with all of our kids.
Oh, 100%. And then
They're admitting that they can't even spend time with their kids, and she wants more.
you feel crappy at night because you're like, I wasn't nice enough to this child, or was I too hard on this child, or
Did I bite this child and make him cry? Yeah, I did that.
did I not spend enough time? It's such...
Aura has gotten the least attention out of all our babies. Yeah.
Wow, you're admitting that on camera? That's nice.
And it's just because
Wow.
she's the littlest one,
Yeah. So we're helping the other kids.
Wait, your littlest one gets the least attention? You're doing that wrong. What?
Because they're also little. It's the universe's way of telling me it's just not good to have a 5th. Yes, we would be able to handle it because that's just what you do. You just...
Do you think that Preston came in when they were helping each other along with their breakups and was like, why are you listening to doctors? If you really want this, you should have what you want, queen. Yeah, slay. Do you think he was coercing her into saying you should have more babies? I think there's something there to be said, he was convincing her, because she's stupid, by the way. She's dumb as a bag of hammers and easily swayed into making crappy decisions, obviously. Do you think it's Preston there being like, wow, just go get a second opinion. Let's see what we can do here. I honestly think he has something to do with that.
handle it. But
And she was, and it's something she wants to hear and wants to do, so she was receptive to it because she really wants it.
It'd be really hard on our relationship for sure. You guys know when we got pregnant with our 3rd, I was very nervous for our relationship because it's hard being pregnant. It's emotional, and Oscar didn't grow up being very emotional.
It's better for our kids.
Yeah.
And it's better for our relationship. Yeah.
Was it? Was it better for your relationship? Okay.
How do you cope with being just a mom? I'm 24 of 3 kids and I'm lost. I wanted to answer this because, oh my.
Go find yourself in other people's taints.
It's so true.
That's how we do it.
It's like such a sucky thing. I actually had to write a bio about myself not too long ago, and literally all I could come up with was that I was a mom for my first sentence.
That's because
there's other things about me.
Because you don't know how to read, you don't know how to do anything, you didn't graduate, you have nothing to show for anything. You have nothing. You have a failed business, you cheated on your fiance, you're a terrible person, you abused people. Look, what else are you gonna write? You have nothing, Kyra. You are not accomplished. Let me be real. Making money on YouTube does not make one accomplished. Okay? Making money by getting lucky by exploiting children doesn't mean you're accomplished. You accomplish making money, but you're not a good person. You're not someone who's like, I should look up to you. You have nothing to offer anybody. You got ahead by getting lucky and exploiting others to get there. So you're not accomplished at any rate. And now you're absolutely, we're all seeing it. You're a gross disgustoid. So you're like, spare me that. I'd like to see that bio. I'll write you a bio.
It's hard to figure out how to word it and all that, and all I could just really write down is like, okay, I'm a mom and I'm 24. And I was like,
yeah, exactly.
There's more. How do I write more? I asked Oscar.
There's nothing else, Kyra. There's literally nothing else that you offer. I get my nails done like every 2 weeks. My hair extensions are growing as I get them done everyone. I don't want to buy my kid apple juice, but instead I got fake boobs. I took my kids out of private school because that shit's too expensive, but then I got fake boobs. Right? I don't want to do anything. Here's the thing, okay? My best friend, she was my best friend. I stole her husband. So, I mean, what else do I write in here? There's so many things.
I'm actually emotional about it, but I'm getting emotional now because I know that feeling.
No, Kyra. Most people know their accomplishments. They could write them down. You don't even graduate high school. You have nothing. Money doesn't make you a good person.
Of just trying to find yourself. And I think even not just being a mom, a dad.
Did she just say that out loud? Trying to find yourself. So when she was writing this thing, did she realize, oh my gosh, I have to find myself so I can write better bios?
A young parent, all those things. I think the 20s is a hard phase, like trying to figure out who you are, and then when you're a mom, it's like a whole nother thing because you almost feel like we've been trained in society that when you're a mom, you're a mom.
So? Do you know that being a mom is one of the most accomplishing things you've ever done? You just, again, at that point, you'd be like, I'm a mom, and that's it. That's enough. I'm amazing. I take care of my children. I'm raising literal humans to be productive members of society. I love them. I clean up. I'm a contributing member to my family, which is growing. Being a mom is an amazing accolade, but she's like, just being a mom? I'd rather have threesomes in Vegas and get chlamydia on my nostrils. That's what she, like, again, throwing moms in the bus by saying just mom. They're the ones feeding into this whole thing where it's like, I didn't know. So that's amazing. Why would you say this and be like, you're right, you shouldn't be proud of being a mom? No, you should be proud of being a mother. It's one of the most amazing things you could be, by the way. Okay? I know you don't get enough accolades and some people want that, but if you are looking for accolades for being a mom, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Okay? Being a mom means that being a good mom, by the way, is that you're a selfless person who puts everybody ahead of yourself. And in the end, you're going to have children who love you, you're going to have a fulfilling life because it's really not about you. Those who are not cocky and not selfish and those who live for others, they have more fulfilling lives, by the way, just so you're aware. In this whole world we live in right now, it's all about self and taking care of yourself and finding yourself and self-care and you, me, I. Take yourself first. That's where we went wrong, everybody. That's where we went wrong. So if you're a mom and you're like watching the show and you're hearing that, don't listen to this trash bag of a human being. You are incredible. You've done something amazing, and you're continuing to do something amazing, and you should be proud of yourself. F what she just said.
It's just about all that there is to you, which...
So, that's amazing. Because that's amazing.
It's so not true, obviously. And I do want to say, some people love that lifestyle, and that is amazing, and I wish I could just be like that.
But I need taint.
Yeah, it's so hard, and I really don't have the greatest advice.
You don't have any advice. Your advice was garbage.
I feel like my best advice would be if you have a family member or a babysitter who can watch your child for 1 or 2 days a week so that you can spend time on your hobbies rather than be laying in bed and watching Netflix. I recommend that not be it because you're probably not going to find yourself through doing that. Doing something.
She keeps saying find yourself. She keeps saying all this stuff. I recommend stealing your nanny's husband. That's how I found myself.
That inspires you.
So her advice is to get someone to watch your kids so you can watch Netflix. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing advice.
That helped me out.
Here's your advice. You're an amazing person, as being a mom is incredible and it's very rewarding. It can be tiring, but you're amazing. That's what you can say.
At least a lot. Finding my own thing outside of being a mom
And the thing that she found outside of this was starting a sex podcast with her nanny, so the nanny's husband could be a part of it.
And it made me a better mom, I think.
No, it didn't.
So
I'm sure you guys have heard this, but being a mom is hard, dude. And I hate how people make it sound like, oh, she's just a mom or a stay-at-home mom.
Nobody says that. Nobody says that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's the hardest job.
Especially when you have multiple children. Oh.
Let me be real though, Oscar. You were a stay-at-home parent too. Both of you were stay-at-home parents. You work from home. You vlog your family. You did just as much as her, if not probably more. So let's be real. Like he's, again, being Oscar, who he is, propping her up because that was his job.
My God, when you're just a mom or just a dad, or not even just a dad, because I feel like dads get a lot of praise, which is kind of unfair.
Oh, okay. What?
Anyways, yeah, I feel like I hate how easy people make it sound, and I do not like how, you
just stop.
get labeled as just a mom like that.
Again, had an opportunity to be like being labeled just a mom. That's a miracle. You're a miracle. You're amazing. And be proud of being labeled a mom because that is incredible. And here's the reasons why that's incredible. You missed an opportunity here. Instead, you're like, yeah, you're right. You shouldn't be just called a mom because moms are losers.
Your entire world.
Yeah, it's so hard. But I also think, I mean, I'm assuming because you're 24, your kids are probably all really young, just like our situation. We have really young kids. And so I think that does make it harder. So give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack.
Go find yourself and taint.
Time, and you will find yourself again, just like we've said so many times in this video, whether it comes to relationships, high school friendships, any of that, it will always go up. It might go back down again, it will go back down again, but it will go back up again too. And that's just kind of how life works.
As long as you work on it.
Yes.
You have to work on everything. It doesn't just go back up. You have to work at it and then it'll go up.
I've been there. I think every mom literally relates to that sentence.
Everything you just said made everybody dumber. Thanks for that.
I feel like I have made a lot of progress on finding myself, and
but not enough, eh? Because later she's like, I didn't find myself. I had to throw my family away to find myself.
Still have time.
And this is just what she actually thinks. She thinks that just because what she was doing was not good enough, she had to find herself. And to find herself, she had to be like, I don't like what I'm in. The grass is always greener, and she always goes where the grass is greener. Then she pisses on the grass and makes it yellow, and then moves on to the next greener grass.
Like, what is there more to me than being a mom, you know? And do other people see that? And what do other people think of me as? Yeah, it's rough.
Wow, that's stupid.
You support the LGBT community, of course. Do you plan on purchasing a new home
Well, they just skipped over that one real quick.
in Utah?
I don't care about this question.
Don't have any near future plans of moving anywhere.
Then she moved like 4 times, like 4 months later.
Because we haven't even talked about it really, so. Although we said that and then we bought a house in California.
We have no near plans because I get to see where Preston wants to live.
True. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for...
Wow, that was stupid. I mean, very eye-opening, but very stupid as well. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it, Kyra, you dumbass. Oscar, do better too. Get rid of the OK Baby channel. It doesn't need to be up there. At least get rid of the videos with the kids in it. Leave all this stuff so I can still snark on it. That'd be great. But that's just terrible. That was very, 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 very revealing. Wow. I'm glad we watched that together. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Let's take a deep breath. Wish me luck. I'm about to head over to the dentist and see if I can get this figured out again because it's starting to hurt. I don't want to take this medicine that makes you loopy a little bit. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being amazing. If you are a mom, know this. You are an effing hero. You're an amazing person. And just being a mom, that's awesome too. Okay? That's not just anything. That's a hard job. And you should be proud of it. You should take it with pride. You are incredible for doing something amazing. You are selfless and incredible. And don't you ever forget it. Okay? Don't let these people tell you anything different. You're awesome. And I'll see you when I see you.